Hi you guys. I wanted to go ahead and come back and make this video on what I believe happens when we have a one world currency and what it's going to look like perhaps after the rapture. Um, I had a, a dream and a vision, and I had it written down for May 8th, 2016. The vision was super quick. Either I had a knowing, or maybe I seen some symbols I don't remember, but it was a one world currency, one world religion, and I saw a police officer that sold out and was helping to usher in the one world government. It was boom, boom, boom. Either I had a knowing, or, and I did see the police officer, but the other two, I just don't, it was just like, it was dropped into my spirit. Also, the dream that I had, either the same night or a couple days or a day later, I don't remember, I was in a laundromat that I actually used to go to in real life. I see a Pac-Man machine, and I figured me and my son can play Pac-Man. I put $1 into the machine, and I die. Like, something's wrong with the joystick. It's not moving correctly or something. Like, this thing is rigged or something. Y'all, I'm a pro. So I put another $1 in, and I die again. Like, the little monster things come and eat me up really fast. So I was like, man, I'm not putting no more of my money in this machine. I quit. So apparently, I get change from putting this $1 in, and out comes a coin, and on the coin, I knew it to be iron and miry clay. So I pick up the coin, and it starts to crumble. I took a picture. I drew a picture of how it looked, because it was oval shaped, and I had a pyramid with the all-seeing eye in it. I knew it was miry clay and iron, and I also knew it was a one world, um, a new world order currency coin. Let me show you. Can y'all see that? So I get the coin, and I automatically know, like, this is trash. Like, this is not going to help me. This thing is crumbling. And so I walk outside, and my aunt, who who in real life likes money, she was like, "Hey, let me see that coin." And I gave it to her because I had no use for it. I knew it was trash, and she was kind of excited about it, but I knew it was nothing to be like excited about. She takes off pushing a baby down the sidewalk, and I get into a car. I go down the road, apparently, and I end up at this building that looks like my husband's small convenience store. Is really small. He does have a small convenience store. And on outside of the convenience store is like some type of official, like some type of like officer or something. And mind you, I feel like I'm in New York, and I feel like I'm in the Bronx, like some neighborhood, like the suburbs of the Bronx, if there's even a such thing. But there's nobody. Like, I feel like there's no police to patrol, or there's no hospitals, there's no personnel. Like, I feel like, I don't know what happened. I almost feel like it was like what the tribulation time might be, but I didn't see any destruction. I just knew that everybody had to fend for themselves. So anyway, I get to this store, and there's a guy outside, and he's like, and there are some women standing outside, and they're all like scantily dressed, and he's telling everybody, all the women, and I'm kind of standing outside with them. He's like, we need 80 people to come inside and stay for like 8 days. Like I felt like that was the choice. Either you come in here and they give you kind of like a shelter or whatever, or you have to stay on the outside and fend for yourself. So I see a whole bunch of people go in, and I almost feel like um it's such a hard decision that I have to go. And then I kind of was like, no, I don't know what's going on. This is on the outside of the store. It looks like a store, but on the inside, I just had this feeling that these people are about to be packed in and maybe chained together inside or whatever. And like, I just didn't get a good feeling about it. So I got closer, and I'm sure this officer or this official saw my hesitation, and he's like, well, you know what? We don't need you to go in, so you don't have to come in. So I leave, and I get to start like going down the street, and I see this guy, um, and he's like this drug dealer or just a thug type person, and he's just hanging out on the street, and uh, doesn't seem as if he even cared or was even bothered by the fact that there was like nobody um, around, like as if he had to fend for himself. And he started talking to me, and he was trying to convince me to like come with him or whatever. And he was like telling me about his baby mama, how his baby mama wasn't nothing, and how he just needed, he wanted me to just be with him. And I wasn't really feeling him. I felt so alone. I felt like there was nobody around. And so I wasn't going to like go with him because he just, he was so worldly. You know what I mean? And something was going on. And then, I saw a few of his friends pull up in another car, and they were all outside just joking and laughing and, carrying on. And maybe they had some drinks and stuff, and just seemed like a big party, like nothing was going on. And then I think he asked me again, and he was like, well, I got a son or whatever. So me not wanting to go with him, but me not really seeing anybody else around, and him mentioning that he had a son, I figured I could probably help him with his son. So I go with him, and we go to his apartment. It's a really nice apartment, but it's only like it's like just nothing in there, but it's clean and it's nice and it's decent. I said, well, I'll come with you. And I was like, well, do you have food? I kind of got the feeling that we needed to have had food stored up. And he was like, yeah, I have food. So I go with him, and there's a bed inside of the living room, which was by the door of the apartment. And he lays down in the bed, and I lay down in the bed too. And his son is there, and his son is like, at least 6 months to 9 months, being able to sit up. And the son is biracial, and um, there was no conversation or anything. And then, as I was laying down, the baby was sitting up on the pillow. In comes in the door, like he just burst through the door. Was this monster, this demon, this mutant, and just standing there in the doorway. It was like a black figure, and I wasn't. It was like a beast of something, some type of mutant. It didn't look human in any way, and I wasn't scared, but I was kind of like shielding. I turned around to the baby, turned my back to the demon, and I was like kind of shielding the baby's face, and I was like, don't look at that demon. Like the way this creature looked, you would think that I would just be scared out of my mind. but I wasn't. I was more concerned about the baby not looking at it so the baby wouldn't get scared. And then I woke up. Now, in real life, months later, uh, in real life, if y'all know, if y'all have dreams and visions, sometimes these things can come to play in real life. And, some pieces and parts of it you can actually walk out in real life. So I know this guy. I do know this guy, and he's kind of like, he's not a thug, but he's kind of lost and just wandering, and he is kind of like selling drugs, and he does have a baby mama who ain't nothing, and they do have like a biracial child, but he's not the kind that would have some food stored up because he has knowledge of what's coming. And let me see. Also in real life, I think a couple of days after that, this guy that I know, he had made, like, you can put a penny in a machine and it'll roll out a penny, and it'll have like the amusement park or whatever place that you visited stamped on it. I'm not sure if they actually roll it out in real life or you put your penny in and then it just spits out another penny. But he showed me one that was pretty shaped just like that one that I showed y'all. And I just don't remember where he visited, but he was gone. Um, and also, when it relates to miry, clay, and iron, in Daniel 2, y'all, Nebuchadnezzar had a dream, and he'd forgotten the dream, and he called on the, let me see, because he called on the wise men to see if they could, one, figure out what the dream was, and because it troubled him, and two, I guess he wanted their interpretation. So, he put out a hit on all the wise men, because nobody, I guess he thought that nobody could figure it out. One of the guys is like, nobody can tell you what your dream was. Like, you dreamed the dream, like, not us. So Daniel was given the opportunity to get the dream, what he dreamed exactly from God, and give him the interpretation. And he dreamed about the four kingdoms, the brass, the head, the head of gold, which was represented Nebuchadnezzar, and I think three other kingdoms that came after it, and the toes on the foot were of iron, part clay. And some people think that this represents, in commentaries that I've read, some people think that this represents two Roman empires that can't stand strong, but and also some people think that it represents the human mixing with the fallen, maybe in the last days, or but generally speaking, it's about a kingdom that just it's not strong. It won't hold together, and God's going to make it crumble, like literally crumble. I'll put the verse below, y'all, because when I looked it up, I was just like shocked, because in my dream the coin itself was crumbling. It wasn't sturdy. It looked like clay, but I had the knowledge in my dream that it was iron and miry clay. And like I said, I had the Illuminati pyramid on it with the all-seeing eye. Y'all, that was during a series of end times dream, and I've been holding off pitting it out. I've hinted around about we needing to store up our food because I don't know what's going to happen. I'm totally pre-trib, y'all, but and I felt in that dream, I felt left behind, and I felt like there was no hope, and I just felt there was no hope. So, anyway, I probably do have some other dreams that I need to share. I felt that I needed to share that because God was showing me end time things in that dream, and it wasn't just for me. I don't believe. I think it can help the whole body of Christ. Also, if you have anything to add to Daniel 2, please let me know, because I read that verse, that chapter over and over and over again, and the commentaries can be confusing as to what the iron and miry clay can be. But as far as talking about what the kingdoms represent, I do believe it is an end time kingdom in which God kingdom will rule and break up and reign over forever and ever. So I will say, to end this video, that, and I don't know if I mentioned it in another video, um, I did I had a little, like a week break of from the end time dreams and visions, and the night before Mother's Day I had I didn't dream. I had a vision of a perfect red rose. I mean, when I say perfect, it was a perfect red rose, and I felt like God was kind of giving me a break, because the dreams and visions that I had for like 10 days, 10 to 14 days in a row were just so heavy. They were specifically end time dreams. And I found in Songs of Solomon, I believe, where it talks about the rose of Sharon. And that was my comfort. And also in real life, the next day was Mother's Day, and they do hand out roses. White and pink they had that day, and I actually didn't get one because I was trying to avoid the foot traffic getting out of the church. So that's just how God works. If you have dreams and visions that come true, sometimes you know how that works, how you can actually walk out those dreams and visions in real life. Anyway, but I think that was a comfort for me because I was so tired. I wasn't getting any sleep, and I know I had to write these dreams down. I had to pray about these things and so on and so forth. If you have any comments, leave them below. I wanted to get this out here. Y'all, my brother is going overseas. He's being deployed. I told you I had dreams and visions of us going to war. I'm going to try to get as much information out of him as I can and actually talk to him, because I don't want him going wherever he's going. I'll know the details tomorrow without him making sure that he leans on Jesus Christ. And I don't want him to take the chip. They are trying to chip the military, I guess, to try to be able to locate them. I think that's the reason that they're giving. But, you know, y'all don't take the RFID chip. I just don't trust it. I do believe it is the mark of the beast. As far as with the technology we have, I do believe it is the mark of the beast. So I got to have a little chat with him. My mom's having dinner for her baby. He is the baby. And we'll just spend some time with him before he goes. Y'all have a good night. Leave any comments or anything additional you want to have. Leave it in the comment box, and I'll be glad for any insight that you may have that I didn't discuss or get revelation of. All right, y'all have a blessed night.